One of the first changes you'll have noticed in Verso is that we've amended the dashboard display for each provocation. Here I can see at a glance the completion rate, the number of contributions made between students, and the extent to which those contributions have been received as helpful. I can see the students who've yet to engage, and I can also see that of those students who have engaged, which students have made the most contributions. I can also, for each student, then check if that's consistent with their behaviours over time by clicking on their name. And I can also, importantly, reveal the extent to which each student is making quality contributions capable of being rewarded for being helpful by their peer group. Teachers are already indicating that access to this data very quickly impacts on the quality of student contributions and highlights students who might need additional support in actually supporting the learning of their peers. Access to data in Verso allows me to constantly review my practice, and changing my practice in ways that benefit my students means constantly checking that the changes I'm making are having the desired impact. So here at class level, I can check the performance of my students against all the provocations I've set to that class. I can sort these based on the number of helpfuls, the number of comments, and these are really an indication of how effective I've been and hopefully how effective I'm becoming at provoking learning and challenging my students to expose their learning needs. Similarly, on my dashboard on the left, I can also proceed to my stats. This time, it looks at data of the provocation set across all of the classes that I teach. So I can look at the impact I'm having across different areas of learning and different classes, which allows me to identify inconsistencies in my practice and allows me to go back and reflect on what has worked well and see where the lessons learnt apply in a variety of different contexts. The final dashboard I'm going to show is the student dashboard. Now I've logged in as Jared, and you'll see here on the left hand navigation bar when I click on his progress report, you'll see Jared's view of Verso. So on logging in, every student can see their performance over time against every provocation they've been set, regardless of which teachers set them. The students can see the number of helpfuls they've received, they can see the number of comments they've made, but in terms of helpfuls, we're finding from schools that students are very mindful of the fact that when they're writing in Verso, they're writing and publishing to an audience, and that audience will be giving them feedback. And they can also evaluate that feedback by awarding helpfuls. So when the students make contributions, we're seeing that green line progressively move further across the page as the students focus their energies on gaining helpfuls. And again, I'm really excited by this because just as the teacher is getting feedback on their own performance in Verso, the students also are seeing the impact of their behaviours on the community. They can go back and review their performance, they can review the kind of comments that scored helpfuls and those that didn't, and refine their practice in their own cycles of inquiry.